On Thursday, voters in Clacton go to the polls in a by-election that didn't need to happen. Nigel Farage resigned his seat, then immediately announced he would stand again at a cost of £275,000 to the taxpayer. 34 candidates, a ballot paper nearly a metre long, 2 parliamentary standards investigations hanging over him, and his highest profile challenger is a comedian who wears a bin on his head. But behind the circus is a serious question Reform UK cannot seem to answer. Why can't they win when it counts? 4.1 million votes at the 2024 general election, 14% of the national total, yet just 5 MPs. Here in Worcestershire, Reform holds more county council seats than any other party, and they won seats in Rhetoric in May 2025. Local success, parliamentary failure. The pattern repeats again and again. Today I'm going to look at that pattern and what the Clacton farce tells us about whether Reform can ever break through when it really matters. So let's start with those numbers from July 2024. Reform UK received 4.1 million votes, 14.3% of everyone who turned out across the United Kingdom, but gained only 5 MPs. To put that in perspective, the Liberal Democrats got 12.2% of the vote, less than Reform, but the Liberal Democrats won 72 seats. Now, some of that seat disparity is our electoral system, but Reform are not a party scraping along the floor. Following the general election, Reform UK hit an all-time high of 32% of the vote. That's nearly a third of the electorate saying they'd vote Reform. It took the Labour leadership change to knock them off that perch, and even now they sit at around 23%. But here's the thing, since that general election, there have been multiple opportunities for Reform to prove that they can win parliamentary seats in by-elections. Concentrated, single constituency contests where the national spread argument doesn't apply. And the results tell a very different story. Because since July 2024, Reform UK has contested parliamentary seats across the country with one win. One. In May 2025, Sarah Poaching won Runcorn and Helsby by 6 votes. 6 votes. But here's what happened after that. Since Runcorn, they've contested 6 more parliamentary by-elections. Second place twice, third place 4 times. No wins. The pattern is consistent. Reform can show up. They can take significant share of the vote. But when it comes to actually crossing the line and winning the seat, it almost never happens. If Farage wins this week, he will of course claim it as a huge victory, but it should also be considered an anomaly rather than a sign of anything else. And there's something else worth noting about the local elections where Reform does perform well. In 2025, they won 677 council seats nationwide, 41% of all seats contested. But since May 2025, in council by-elections, they've won 61 out of 176 contests. Still significant, but the momentum is not what it was. Additionally, they've also lost 31 of those new councillors on top of the 97 they have lost from the 2024 intake. And it's not just Westminster. In 2024, Reform stood a candidate for Greater Manchester Mayor. Dan Barker received 49,500 votes, 7.5% of the total. He came 4th. Fast forward to 2026, a by-election for the same mayoralty, Reform's candidate made the second round, but Labour's Bev Craig won decisively, nearly 2-1. The picture is clear. Local elections, Reform does well. But parliamentary seats and regional mayoralties, the positions that carry real legislative power, they just can't seem to close the deal. Now, but there's also a deeper problem here, and it goes beyond individual election results. Reform UK and its leadership have spent years questioning the integrity of British elections. Postal votes are vulnerable. Family voting is widespread. Tactical voting distorts results. Their system is rigged against them. Whether or not these claims have merit, and the evidence for widespread electoral fraud in the UK is, to put it generously, extremely thin, there's a practical consequence that gets almost no attention. If you spend years telling your own supporters that elections are rigged against you, that votes get stolen, that the establishment always finds a way to win, what do you think that happens to their motivation to vote? If I genuinely believed my vote wouldn't count, would I still make the trip to a polling station on a rainy Thursday? It's a question worth asking because it might explain something the raw numbers alone can't. Why a party with 4 million votes, a 32% polling peak and a 14% national support cannot convert that energy into parliamentary power. You can't build a winning coalition while simultaneously telling that coalition the competition is fixed. Now, Reform UK is not going to go away. They command significant vote shares on councils across the country. They have reshaped the political conversation. But reshaping the conversation is not the same as winning power. And the data from the last 2 years, the general election, the by-elections, the mayoral contests, tells a consistent story. Reform UK cannot turn votes into seats when it counts. This Thursday's by-election in Clacton won't change that, whatever the result. A self-inflicted contest against a man dressed as a bin at £275,000 of taxpayers' money does not demonstrate strength. It demonstrates something rather different. Now, if you've enjoyed this investigation, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments. Do you think Reform UK can ever break through at Westminster? Or is their ceiling lower than their vote share suggests? I'd genuinely like to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.